Thank you very much and welcome. The first question: you're a very successful man, and there are a lot of people, especially young people, that want to become like Mr. Ziyad one day. Can you tell us your story?
Okay, thank you very much for having me today, and it's really my pleasure to be with you on this broadcast, and I hope I can add value to young generation as well as get benefit of each other. My name is Ziyad Abulhamayel. I'm a mechanical engineer background, graduated from King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals. I have also 2 degrees of masters, one in MBA and the other one in political science. I have over 30 years of experience in different organizations. I'm considering myself lucky, really, working with the big giants in the world of industries, of refining and petrochemicals. I started my career in Sasrif, that is a joint venture between Aramco and Shell. And then I moved to Samref, which is another joint venture between Saudi Aramco and ExxonMobil. And then I moved to Sabic, and this is kind of the 4th big giant in the petrochemicals arms. So this kind of diversity in the working industry in refining and petrochemicals give me that edge, as well as having that working with the big giants like Shell, Saudi Aramco, ExxonMobil, and Sabic also give that kind of diversity. I'm considering myself really lucky working with such great organizations and company where the learning is very high, the development piece and skills that we were gaining from the development, from the career focus, from the interaction with others, networking, all contribute positively to my career and my development, and that kind of things where we need to focus to get the opportunity as much as possible to gain. This kind of things really enrich my experience, enrich my knowledge, my leadership capabilities, skills that make me where I am today. So yeah, there are a lot of success factors that came, and thanks God helped me in be where I'm to be. So this kind of things, my advice to the young generation that could help them in their career and their growth is, first, don't be shy with asking questions. I started my career, especially in it's like the new baby when from 0 to 5 years, they adapt and enrich. It's like a sponge, and they gain the experience and knowledge. When you work with companies, don't be shy of asking questions. This is really opportunity to learn. There is no bad questions or wrong questions or good questions. It's all about questions and exploring the answer. Also, you need to find yourself a mentor that will accelerate the learning, because things that you learn in 1 year, maybe with a session with your mentor, can do it in 15 minutes. And also, during my period with Aramco, Saudi Aramco, ExxonMobil, and Shell and Sabic, I really get myself selecting certain mentors from the leadership organization of mine, and that also accelerate the learning process, accelerate the experience and knowledge that could contribute positively to your career, your development, and make it more of a fast way of learning. I think maybe third dimension, you need to be self motivated and inspired with learning. Don't lose any opportunity that to learn from. You need to own your career. Learning is a continuous process, and don't wait until somebody else will feed you. No, you need to have that motivation, inspiration, that you develop yourself, see the opportunities that available, whether by interaction, by networking, by attending certain conference or training courses, or by learning on the on site, which is the biggest learning portfolio. The classic training is it's useful, but not as when you put your hands on things on the ground, where the whole business will react there. I believe this is where you can sharpen your skill, whether technical skills or leadership skills. Having different diversity of things. Don't stuck yourself in one box. It's like that when you say I have 20 years experience, but it's basically 1 or 2 years experience multiplied by 10, because it's the same thing. No, I know that is difficult for some people to get out of the comfort zone. You need to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. Try different things, try different fields, learn more. Yes, it's not convenient and it is challenging, but the gain is very huge.
Wow, wow, wow. I loved what you said about asking questions and finding the right mentor. I think that's one of the most important things that I have learned, and hearing from someone who's achieved so much reassures me how important it is to have a good mentor and to ask questions.
And if you allow me to add one story here,
yeah,
you need to capture the opportunity, the right opportunity at the right time.
Right.
And to share with you, I really get a lot of benefit on that. One time, in our CEO of SABIC, who's currently the Minister of Education, His Excellency was participating with us in workshop. So I took that chance and I spoke to him to be my mentor at that time when he was our CEO. Of course, maybe others could feel uncomfortable that you approach the CEO, you ask for mentorship, but I found it very suitable opportunity. And believe it or not, I think this was one of the right move that I did at that time, and I used that portfolio and platform to learn from His Excellency a lot of things that accelerate my learning. So instead of going to the path where it may take 1 to 2 years on that specific competency or that specific skills, within 15 minutes dialogue with him, I can grasp that experience and use it. So you can imagine how many skills, how many competencies that you can learn from that opportunity.
Excellent, excellent. That's a fantastic point, especially asking questions, coming out of the comfort zone, identifying someone that you look up to be your mentor. It sounds like you made a lot of right decisions that made you successful. I'm so happy. I feel very privileged that I had the chance to speak with you.
Thank you very much.
Can you share with us what are some of the lessons that you have learned from mistakes that have made you successful?
We are human beings at the end of the day. So not doing mistakes is not human characteristics. It's so human being do mistake, and that is shamelessly fine, really. The biggest shame is you repeat your mistake, the same things, the same behavior, the same act. You do it second time wrongly. That is things is shame. There is a quote I learned from the former CEO of Saudi Aramco. I'm quoting him. He said, "Sometimes we learn the hard way." So what he said, I like that quote. He said, "Sometimes we win, and sometimes you people automatically the brain will go with what you lose."
Yes.
But he said, "Sometimes we win, and sometimes we learn."
We learn.
Rather than we lose.
Right.
So this is the trick. Of course, I had multiple mistakes in my career and journeys, and that really developed my leadership capabilities, my technical background. Most important things that you need to do, of course, when you do take that risk to do things, you need to do it with a calculated risk.
Right.
So I'm not encouraging that you go and push a button that will shut down the refinery or shut down your complex, the petrochemical complex. But of course, sometimes you need to go through a path that you learn from it and get you the benefit of learn. Let me give you a story. One of engineers that working in our organization, he made a mistake, and wrongly he connect one of the instrument tools or wires wrongly, that lead to a shutdown. Of course, in the normal classic manager of the refinery or the plant, what he will do, he will basically fire him.
Yes.
Absolutely right. But you know what that differentiate between a manager and leader? That leader, when the people discuss with him, and this is by the way one of the biggest learning that I had. Some of the leaders or managers in the organization suggested that we need to fire that young engineer. But he said, "You are absolutely wrong, because he has learned from this mistake, and it cost me millions of dollars. Now you want me to waste that millions of dollars?" And fired him, because this engineer or this guy, he learned the biggest learning in his life. So it is stuck in his mind. It is now the company invested, yes, of course, invested not intentionally, but it comes like that. But we need to get that utilize this opportunity. Firing him, of course, both parties will be losing, because you already paid the expense.
Correct.
You paid the expense through shutdowns or rehabilitation, and of course he will lose his job. But if you keep him, believe it or not, he will communicate that mistake, the learning of it, to the next generation. He will be more conscious about doing things without proper mitigation, without the right calculation. So that things to be alerted in his shoes or his toes will be lost. So I think we all do mistakes, and certainly I did that in my career, and I learned a lot through that experience. But of course, the other things that also to be communicated is the learning of that mistake. Yeah, doing a mistake, we are human beings. So two basic rules in my opinion. First, there is no shame of doing mistake, but the shame is to repeat the same mistake again. Secondly, you need to share that. because there is a saying where you say that learning is costly.
It
And
is.
the example of that push button
Yes.
shut down the is costly. I paid the cost,
Yes.
but sharing is free.
Correct.
So when I share that experience, that mistake to others, I'm basically giving that golden opportunity to others, and not to repeat the mistakes, because already I paid a big amount of deal. So sharing is a must in this case because it's basically free.
Free.
So this is the kind of two pillars that we need to watch and observe. Why, if you are, I don't want to say you are lucky by doing mistake, but if you get a mistake, you need to learn from.
Right. And Mr. Ziyad, it seems like, of course, you've worked with a lot of partners and a lot of companies in your career, and generally everybody, and this is what I was speaking to the other guest as well, everybody out there, whether it's a company or a service provider or solution provider, they claim they are the best and the biggest. Everyone says this. So from your experience, how do you identify who is really good and who is saying they are good?
This is great questions that need to reflect on. I believe, of course, there are many criteria, there are many factors would play that criteria to distinguish. This is a good organization or a good vendor, or that is a great organization or great vendor. My belief, to make it, to summarize on this, especially in the field of industries like the petrochemicals, like refinery, I believe it's a one coin where you have identified two major pillars. If you find these two major pillars in that organization, they focus on it, that will give a strong indication they are really great. The first one is safety. Safety and EHS in general is one of the things that I don't want to say it's a priority, because if the priority may change, but I believe it's more than priority. It's a core value. The safety is a core value where you need to embed that in our DNA. So if you see that organization have that kind of leadership, that culture, where the safety is embedded in their DNA, it means they are fulfill one of the major criteria of as a best or great organization. The second pillar is people. People are really the most valuable asset in the organization. Not really about steel, not about equipment, not about pumps, compressor, columns. No, the most valuable asset, people. And if you see organization focusing on people, their development, their progress, they're giving them a chance to innovate, to think out of the box, to create values, to let them express themselves, to give them the space. You give delegation to people to work, not to really to capture them. If you see that organization with that culture in mind, their mindset is developed this way, that gives a very high indication this is a great organization. Of course, there are other factors, but I personally focus in this too. Other factors also important to give that to give indication that is a great organization, like allow people to innovate, working in innovation, give them also some area to think out of the box and create values. So this kind of other attributes, which is important, but if we summarize it, this is the main two things that you need to focus: safety, and the other side is people.
Understood. Mr. Ziyad, tell us now, when we talk about asset integrity, when we talk about shutdown executions, um, we've always seen in the industry exhibitions and conferences focused on one of the two, especially conferences. And as a conference organizer, we are working on combining asset integrity and shutdown execution into one content-led conference, where you have day one of the conference on asset integrity and day two on shutdown and turnaround. Now, for a conference like that to become very successful, what would you suggest the main areas and topics that we should consider?
I think you touch a very crucial area. Asset integrity is it's a very big subject that a lot of things embedded under that area. So looking at the area of asset integrity, of course, you need to look at some areas of the problems that are faced by within the organization. An example of the current conference themes, the corrosion under insulation is one of the topics that is highly critical. Also, from the other topics that we need to focus on is aging. A lot of plants, refinery, getting older and getting aged. So rather than waiting until failure happens, you need to have a very strategic focus and plan where you kind of assess when this asset will be obsolete and out of or getting aged, so you can predict that and be ready for it by replacement, by new technology, another one, or at least by the right spare part that could help you to continue the journey. Because all this impact will lead to the second topic that you mentioned, having unplanned shutdown. The least everybody, the least things that you want to really have is unplanned shutdown. Because unplanned shutdown linked to reliability issues. So you need to have also in mind from the leadership aspect where you want to move from reactive mode to proactive mode. That an area also our subject, because this is touch. It cannot be done individually. It has to be cumulative of many individuals and leader contribution. So the culture will become reliability conscious and having the strategic focus where you have in mind a proactive approach. It becomes kind of strategic planning approach rather than waiting to things will happen and then you react. Even though you react well and under pressure, but that is not an excuse not to think strategically, not to think proactively. So this is maybe the third area where you also need to focus on what is the role of leadership into having a positive influence and impact to make it a reliable place, to make it a safe place, to make it and also eliminate to reduce or eliminate unplanned shutdown, unplanned emergencies.
Right. Now, when it comes to the blind spots, what are some of the major issues, challenges, or even innovations that you believe people in our industry are ignoring, and something no one is talking about?
Well, I think some of the area that the people tend to, I wouldn't say ignore, but I would say afraid of, is artificial intelligence.
Right.
People tend to really get fear of the AI will take my post, my job. So I would really advise to think of it differently. AI is a tool like any other tools. You need to equip yourself with it. You need to learn and make yourself competent in that, so it will be working to help you rather than you work against that, because it will happen. It will happen. So either you be part of the game in the right way, or you will be just swimming against the wave and the wind, which is absolutely crazy. I think this area is an area that we need to put more focus on. The other area is maybe sustainability. We need to the ecosystem in the world, the environment is really a big challenge, and you need to think of the carbon footprint and the environment that could destroy our ecosystem, and put a plan, mitigated plan that will address this issue. So I'm not seeing that is really taking the right attention. Yes, there is some effort started, but I think we need to put more focus on sustainability, how we protect our world, how we protect our environment, how we protect our ecosystem in general, by doing the right focus. I believe these two main areas. In addition, people development. I believe people always think about development as I'm sending you to training, and that is not what we meant by people development. There is a philosophy or strategy of 70, 20, 10, where basically the things that most of the people think that I need to send you to a training course or conference, whatever, that represent only 10%. But the 70% is about get your hands dirty and be in the front line. Learn from the work itself. Be on the side and learn from that exposure. That will give you the right development. And of course, there is a 20% given by assignment. And that's what I encourage everyone, not really to stay in his current role more than 5 years. You need to really go get exposed to different area, rotate yourself to different portfolio, because you will see yourself resisting, and that is normal, because we like to be in the comfort zone. But we need to challenge that fear, the inside fear, and we need to what we call get your genie, unleash the genie from inside, and jump yourself into that area. Again, let me put also underline word that you need to jump in the sea, but with the calculated and right mitigation. So jump in the sea, take your safety precautions as well. But I'm not suggesting that you jump without thinking, without the right mitigation. But of course, you need to take that kind of risk, calculated risk, into equation. So I think this area need to be more focused as a blind zone or blind angle, that we put more focus on it.
Right, understood. And Mr. Ziyad, there are so many companies around the world that are very excited about Saudi Arabia. Everybody's talking about Saudi Arabia. For those companies that would love to come to Saudi Arabia and do business in Saudi Arabia, what are your advice? What would you suggest that they should keep in mind and consider when wanting to do business in Saudi Arabia?
Thank you for these questions. I believe in the last 5 years or so, Saudi Arabia becomes rapidly improving in all aspects.
Correct.
Having the strategies of and the vision of 2030 is one important dimension that establish where to go. We have we had before some 5 years plan, but now we know our destination. Our objective is very clear. Our goal is very clear. We have addressed and followed that with the certain KPIs that making the right stewardship by our wisdom leaders, and following to establish these steps to achieve 2030 vision. This enables Saudi Arabia to become very attractive place for all investors. Now, the government is encouraging the investor to come. There is a very systematic and huge effort into that manner, where they establish the right foundation. They make it more of systematic approach rather than here and there. They make it kind of they make it more of lean processes. They make it also strength into utilizing the e-government, where everything is automated and everything becomes more simpler, removing the barriers of that appears earlier by things like routine or bureaucratics stones that could delay the process. So I believe now the Saudi Arabia is going into the right direction under very sincere and wise leadership, and we are all putting our hands together to that. It becomes more attractive for companies. They need, or investors, they need to grab that opportunity, because it could be a real opportunity to achieve now. Maybe after a couple of years, you don't have that opportunity and you lose it. So what I advise, they need to find a place in Riyadh or in some city in Saudi Arabia to establish. They put their foots inside, and
Right.
becomes more of investor. They invest into the specialty of that company. They get some national people to contribute, make them learn, develop them, so they can put some input. All that will contribute to positively to these companies, and the payback. And this is very important. Sometimes you need to invest today so you gain tomorrow.
Correct.
If you think I need to invest today and gain today, it means you are not a good businessman or not a good thinker. You need to invest now, and sometimes you don't get your return. You may get it in certain time, and that is that's what I'm saying. It's a really golden opportunity. All the enablers nowadays are available, and I believe what it makes more attractive, that things getting more simpler. There is some certain simplicity. They make it the government, all things simple, lean, efficient. And the other pillar is really there is a great focus. So we know where we go in this area. Our priorities and focus is very clear, and that make it sufficient to people to be relaxed, that there is a certain focus on 1, 2, 3. And the last pillar is making the right enablers, because for example, having some electronic support that could make it more simpler for you. So this kind of enabler will complete the channel of the triangle, and gives the opportunity to investors to get the benefit of the current ecosystem for investing.
Understood. And so, Mr. Ziyad, I've done a lot of podcasts, and I have to admit, this particular podcast resonates every word that you said about taking risks, learning from mistakes, identifying a good mentor and having the courage to ask them to be your mentor, and learning and having a mindset of taking risks. Um, I absolutely believe you're probably one of the most wisest men that I have interviewed, and I am so grateful that we had the chance to speak. You're extremely well spoken, your communication is excellent. I have learned so much from this, and a lot of young people that are watching this that want to start a career or want to become like Mr. Ziyad. We hope that you have learned something, and we hope to see you guys very, very soon. I'm in Saudi Arabia meeting with some of the best oil and gas companies and working with some of the top leaders like Mr. Ziyad, who are pioneers in this particular industry and sector. So thank you very, very much, Mr. Ziyad, for joining us. It's been a tremendous pleasure.
Thank you very much, and the pleasure is also mine having me in this broadcast. I learn a lot with your really questions open even my minds to certain areas that make me think and go to the histories and get the things out of my background and my memories. Just one last word to conclude my advice to young generation and also to this broadcast. In addition to what I have said, you have to have a belief. You need to believe what you are doing. The most important things about anything in the world, to be passionate about it. If you have that kind of passionate on something, even if it sounds silly or it sounds not important, but you are passionate about it, believe it or not, it becomes that sand a gold, because the passion transforms the things into a very positive way. So I need our young generation to be passionate about something that they believe on. And everybody has different background, different things they like. Whatever you want to progress with, be passionate about. And believe it or not, as a leader, the most successful moment for me, and this is from my bottom of my heart, is to when you see I have even a little contribution to a one or young engineer or any people in organization or in the country that is along and progress in his life. That will make me the most happiest person, because I felt I contributed positively to that individual. It's like exactly what you are doing to your family. When you raise your kids, when your kid progress, they graduated from the elementary school, intermediate and high school, and then the college, they becomes a positive individual in the community. You feel proud, and I think it's this feeling is the same. I feel very proud and brag about something that I make people contribute and progress to the next level, whether leaders or individual in the technical or any other fields. So again, thank you very much. It was really pleasure having me here, and I learned as much as you can imagine with these questions opening the mind. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Mr. Ziyad. As a business for us, you said a few things about belief and being passionate and working very, very hard. For us as Cogent Solutions, one of the things that we are working towards doing is achieving an extremely ambitious goal of becoming a unicorn, $1 billion valuation of by 2030. That's an IPO that we want to do by 2030, and that's something that we're extremely passionate about.
Yes.
So much so that I'm willing to die for it. So,
Thank you,
really, really happy that we had the opportunity to learn from experts like you. That's what's going to put us in the trajectory and make sure that we achieve that. So thank you so very much, Mrs. Ziyad. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Viewers, thank you so much. And please subscribe to our channel, like, and watch to learn from world global leaders like Mr. Ziyad. And thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.